So what's the story behind the stash?
Me and Robert Cooper did it my first freshman year and then did it last year, so figured we might as well get it going again. It was one of those things like you wake up in the morning in camp and same routine every day. You got to get a laugh somewhere when you look in the mirror, so a little pick me up.
Anybody else following your lead on it?
Clint's trying to do one. I think Brandon's going to shave his beard, and Davis Hooper, and everyone who's got facial hair, I think, is going to just cut it off into a mustache. So.
You said Clint is trying to do one. You said not bad.
Yeah, Clint's still working on the mustache. His is just real blonde and looks kind of French, quite frankly. It's like real.
How do you think yours is progressing?
It's getting there. I mean, I think it's better than last year's, but you know, only time will tell.
After kind of having a chance to go back and watch the scrimmage, what did you think of everything?
I think it was good. Just we know what some of our older guys could do. We hadn't seen the younger guys in a live setting like that, and the running backs did real well. And some of those younger O-linemen, those freshman O-linemen that had just gotten here, did a phenomenal job. Big Greg and Christian, those are two young guys that I think in time are going to really help this team.
A lot of guys have talked about how physical the camp has been so far. Is that something that you definitely noticed too?
Yeah, I mean, I think the main thing with that is just the competition across the board, people fighting for positions, because we have such a young team, and Coach Malzahn or Coach Chiswick said from the get-go that he wants to see people be physical and compete, and just everyone's been out there going as hard as they can and just flying around the football.
How do you feel like what kind of camp have you had overall, personally?
I've had a pretty good camp, just trying to get the finer details in on everything and just correct everything. Just really taking some mental reps more than anything, and just trying to help Brandon out and the Darius Phillips out and Chris Humphreys out with that 3-back spot, trying to provide some depth there and just coach them up as much as I can. And but for the most part, just working on finishing up on some like finer details on my blocking and my route running.
Talk about Brandon's what you think of him.
Just a really athletic kid. He's kind of got those baby deer legs right now, baby horse legs, where just trying to figure everything out right now. But he's done a phenomenal job with what he's got, and I think as the stronger he gets, the better he'll be. And our question with him from the beginning was if he was going to be able to be physical at that 3-back spot, because it's such a hard thing to do coming straight out of high school. And he was kind of like me, where he was just a receiver in high school, and but he's done a great job. He's been being physical and finishing blocks, so I think you'll see him out there this year.
Is he playing behind you at 3 right now?
Yes, sir.
I mean, is there anybody else in that mix?
Yeah, me, Brandon, Ladarius Phillips, and Chris Humphreys. We've all been working at that 3 spot and just kind of rotating.
How's Ladarius?
He's good. You know, excuse me. He's learning how to be physical on every play instead of just having one series where he does real well and is physical, and then the next series he's kind of off a little bit. And I think he's starting to figure that out, that you have to be physical every play at that fullback spot. And I think as he continues to realize that, and I think when he realizes that's going to be why he plays, is if he's physical at that spot, then I think he'll play a lot.
Did you play any 3 at the scrimmage?
Sir?
Did you play any 3 at the scrimmage?
Yes, sir.
I mean, is that your first real experience doing that?
No, you know, I did. Me and Eric Smith kind of rotated in and out at the 3 last year, and as the season went on, I started playing a little bit more at that 3 spot. So I'm pretty familiar with it, but we're just trying to get the younger guys to get some reps too.
We talked with Troop the other day, and he said he was just really impressed with how Quan Bray's doing, given being a freshman, given also his family circumstances. I mean, how impressed have you been? How's he been handling this time?
Just from an emotional standpoint, I can't even imagine going through what he did, and for him to even be here right now is just a feat for him. And like I said, that's just something I can't imagine going through. But from a football standpoint, he's been out there flying around and catching the ball and making plays. Him and Trevon Reed at that kind of wide receiver, reverse position. And yeah, I mean, he's just impressed everyone. You never really see him get down on himself, which is good for everything that he's gone through. So we need him to play this year. We need him to make plays, and that's what he's been doing during camp.
You see these guys from the outside, watching Barrett and Clint, and trying to win that job. How they handle it?
It's actually pretty funny because during practice, you know, they don't really talk to each other at all. They're trying to beat each other out, and then I just got done sitting in between the two of them eating lunch, and it's just like they're best friends again. So it's interesting. Both of them want it really bad, and they both would probably do just about anything to get the job. But it's just cool to see that it's not ruining their friendship off the field, but on the field, it's just like any competitor should be. You know, kind of cutthroat mentality. But they're both throwing the ball real well. They're both taking care of the ball really well. So I think it's just going to be a couple more scrimmages until we can really, or the coaches at least, can really kind of detail it up and see who's the best guy for the job.
The fact that you guys are so inexperienced as a team, you feel like that's helped the work ethic here during practice and stuff, that everyone knows they have to pay real close attention just to make it work?
Yeah, we only have a few guys who played last year and went through it all last year, and I think we've done a good job of preaching to these younger guys what it takes to go 13-0 in the SEC, to kind of run the table, because there's only a few of us who actually went through it, and I think the younger guys are hearing that and taking it in, and it just makes them want to work harder for it and get after it a little bit more. So yeah, it's definitely been fun because there's so many question marks out there, and it's just interesting to see who's going to step up, and there's just been so much competition.
Like, what's one piece of advice you've dispensed most often to these young guys?
Really, that you can't take any plays off. That's been our biggest thing this year, is if you're not going full speed the whole time, then you've really been getting yelled at by the older guys and by the coaches, and excuse me, and just that you have to have that mentality where this could be your last play, so you just go as hard as you can, and I think the younger guys have embraced that very well.
As you guys have really gotten into the contact phase, I guess, of practice, anybody surprised you as being like a big hitter on the defense? I mean, if you were asked who was the biggest hitter on defense, who would it be?
Biggest hitter? I don't know. Most of them have been, for me, they've all been going low and trying to take my ankles out. But T-Bell's not afraid to go in there and lick it pretty good. Jonathan Mincy's a guy who, whenever the ball's in the air, he's trying to wait and time it up and make contact. And I've noticed him a lot. And, of course, El Toro's been flying around and knocking some heads. And then Nosa Igwe always has great finishes to tackle. So those are a couple guys who hit pretty hard.